Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Captain America issue 696. And I really enjoyed this issue. It was another kind of issue showing Steve going to another town and kind of figuring out and feeling what the feeling is of America and kind of what their feelings are towards him. So it starts off and he's talking to Sharon. She just kind of wants to check in and see how he's doing. And he's saying that he's fine, that since he was usually, his place was usually paid for by like S.H.I.E.L.D. or Tony or whoever, that he was usually tied to New York, and he kind of wanted to get out and see what's going on around the different places. So he walks into this diner saying that, hey, I saw that there was a help wanted sign, but I don't really want a job, but I'd like to trade doing some dishes for a meal if that's alright. But of course, the dude comes up and says, yeah, we can do something about that, the owner, and he's like, oh, what's your name? Steve. So, of course, everybody kind of recognizes him and, like, wants pictures and everything. The dude starts shooing him away, and he tells his wife to get a steak onto the grill and all that. And he's like, all right, I can do that. Just let me wash some dishes. He's like, no. He's like, couple dishes. No. One dish. Can I take a picture of it? Sure. All right. So, while this is going on, we see that this one dude is watching the news and sees that Captain America is in the town of Salga. And, of course, he's pissed off that Captain America's there and slices the TV and decides to go do some stuff. Not Salga, Salga River. And, of course, the owner of the diner is taking Steve out, showing him the dam and everything. And Steve's like, hey, this town is pretty cool, pretty nice, quaint old town, but it's not big enough for me to keep a low enough profile. And as he's saying this, the diner owner gets a call from his wife, and she's told to look something up on the internet. We see that the person in the apartment that slices TV has taken the dam hostage, saying that he's going to open up the floodgates and flood the whole town out, since the river's been engorged with flood water and everything. So, of course, before the dude's even able to stop his sentence, Steve pretty much performs almost a kind of Batman thing, jumping off and changing into his Cap outfit and riding off on his motorcycle. So he gets there, and we find out that this is Swordsmen. And he's like, I thought you were dead. He's like, nope, I'm an inheritor of the mantle, and just trying to make a name for myself, and coerce millions from holding the town hostage and everything. And, of course, they start going into their fight, and Steve's shield is knocked out of his hand, and he learns that the sword that the guy has is vibranium as well. And he's just trying to berate Steve and say, why are you even trying to help these people? He goes, well, there's people here, so that's my job to do. And they get out on top of the dam, and I really like how they frame the artwork in this, doing the silhouettes and everything. It just made the action feel more dynamic and kind of cool. And with doing a kind of less is more approach, as they're just fighting, and then Swordsman slices part of the dam away. Steve's kind of falling down, and he goes, well, that's about time for the floodgates to open, and they do. He'd set it to an automatic timer. Steve's like, no! And Swordsman's going, well, you didn't think you come in here, you'd just be able to stop me, right? And then he like punches him out and takes him out through a window, and the one dude he was going to kill, he is trying to help Steve close the floodgates. He's like, is there a manual override? Yeah, but you're going to have a hard time trying to close it with all this water. And he's going down and he's trying to move it, and he goes, Archimedes. And he goes with this quote, if you give me a lever and a fulcrum, I can move the world. He goes, well, you're going to need something really thin and really strong to move that. And what do they have? A vibranium sword. So Steve uses it and is able to close the floodgates and everything. So he goes back to the diner owner. You find out that the only damage that was really done was some flooded basements and some damage to a playground, but everything else worked out pretty well. And Steve's like, well, it feels like I bench pressed the Hulk, but otherwise than that, I'm fine. Because it did take his toll closing that. So he gives him food that his wife had prepared and all that, and Steve asks him what he owes him, and I just love the frame of the dude being like, no. And he's going, all right, I'll take this just this one time. Says goodbye and rides on out of town. So that was a pretty cool thing. I really like how they're doing this. Steve kind of reconnecting, just going to towns. I'm waiting to see what happens when a town is less than enthused that he's there. But we'll have to see how that keeps going out. And a cool little thing that we saw at the end was we saw that somebody was on top of a building looking after Steve, and the silhouette looks like Kraven the Hunter. So I'm intrigued to see where they go with that, because I don't know of that many times that Steve and Kraven have locked and been in a battle and all that, and haven't really talked or anything or interacted that much. So I'm wondering what Kraven's goals are, if he's being hired by someone, if he, of course, just wants to test his hunting powers on hunting Captain America. We'll kind of have to see what goes on when that's further than the next couple issues. So, those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.